tight. He's got to get his cheap sunglasses out.
Don't overflow it and put it out for pickup shortly before the scheduled pickup time. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth.
I'm 100% convinced I'm going through withdrawals because this is the first time I haven't had 14 fireballs by noon in half a month.
You should turn back and go sunglasses.
Thing is happening.
Something
could happen soon.
I said you should turn back the clock and go sunglasses.
I can totally do that.
Chaos.
It's always something.
There really is something there.
On News Radio 570 WWNC.
At Ingalls, we know that fresh means local. The best ingredients don't come from a world away. They come from your own backyard. From the farms we support, to the stores we love, to the tables you treasure. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
From the Ingalls studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, Greene. That's Greene. Enter it now.
Go to ESPNAVL.com to play, and good luck.
Live from the Ingalls studio,
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
the Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell!
Let the big dog eat! Let him on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God, the Jets killed him.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. The Sportsocracy, heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click that live video link, subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. It is good to be back from the vacation there, but we will say the Mullet Manor. The second Mullet Manor was pretty rough on old Mullet Man himself. Jeremy Greene rejoining us from the Asheville, North Carolina Mullet Manor.
What it do? I just say I'm a little worse for the wear. Is that would be not far enough
for the radio listeners who are not checking this out on the YouTube stream. Jeremy's got his sunglasses on. His face is a little pink. Got a little sun out there in Tybee Island, Georgia.
If
you drank all the boozes in South Georgia.
If you go to Tybee Island, Georgia today, you can't get a Fireball anywhere because I had them all.
So the keto diet did not survive.
No. I ate a lot of really good seafood. We met some really cool people. We went out one night with a councilman. What up, Spec? And yes, that is his real name. 73 years old. One of the funniest human beings I've ever met in my life. And yeah, that's what Amy and I do. I've always said she and I should have a travel show where we just take a camera with us and you get to see the shenanigans we get into, because I don't feel like people believe it. But Tank, you've been there. It is true.
I have. It is true.
It is true.
Finds himself in interesting situations.
Every now and then. I will never forget being on a boat in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when I kind of came to and went, how did we get here, and whose boat is this? Mm-hmm. And they could have dextered me out in the Atlantic Ocean, and no one would have been the wiser because no one knew we were there. Didn't say it was smart decisions, but it was my decision.
Right. It was, decisions were made, right or wrong, and now you have to live with the decisions that you made, and that's why you're that's why you got to wear the sunglasses today. You got to turn down the volume on the old headphones just a little bit.
Oh, for sure.
Still got that little bit of ringing in your ears. We've been there. We've all been there.
Jonathan Welch asked
everybody who is who's recovering today from the holiday weekend.
Jonathan Welch in our YouTube chat asked who I've been yelling at. Everyone. children specifically, because man, and you know, this is not a take on the children of South Georgia as much as it is on children in general. Parents, do all of us who are 35 plus years old a favor and tell your children their music sucks. Like, just something awful. Like, everything. If you are under the age of 22 years old and you follow the masses and what they like, your music is just noise. And that's the nicest way I can say that. There was a group beside us. There was a group beside us that had one of those beach speakers, which, first of all, don't do that. Buy a pair of headphones. I don't care what you like to listen to, because it's terrible. Every song they played off that thing, I swear to you, at one point I thought they were like banging cats together, because that's what it sounded like. Like they had two cats by the tails and they were just going full Bring Out Your Dead from Monty Python.
Now, was this a recurring thing every day? Like you ended up by the same people every day?
So we were in a residential neighborhood, and so we all had like private beach access. So about 8 of us were going down the same access every day. And one of them had a full-on family reunion that was in their house. First of all, that dude had to drink more than I did, because you were dealing with him for 24 hours a day. I got like 4, and it was everything I had. But good, first of all, don't bring speakers to the beach. Just don't do that. It's so annoying. But if you're going to bring a speaker, maybe play music that sounds like music. I got revved up and started singing John Anderson at a karaoke bar.
Speaker.
Oh, yeah. They didn't want to play that game with me, because I had a speaker that you probably had heard from Asheville.
That's what I'm saying. Like so the first day you show up and they're playing the crappy music. Second day you show up hoping they won't be there, and they're there. Okay, that triggers the response of I got to go get a speaker now. And then you bring your speaker, and then you just like blast Guns N' Roses over their trash music, whatever it is.
I did bring the big speaker one day. Now, there was really nobody around us that day. And I did introduce my wife to the beauty of the collection of John Anderson. Full Seminole Wind.
Oh, geez.
Oh, it's so good. It was so good. Yeah. She just kept looking at me. She just kept looking at me like, why are you doing this? And I went, Google the video. Right. She did, and she said he looks like he could be your dad. With his sweet mullet. I went, exactly. Guess what's up next? Toby Keith should have been a cowboy. It's mullet radio, baby.
It's all we're doing.
It's all we're doing, playing songs of dudes that had mullets.
Heart. Yeah. Good
I did get to play the fun Luke Combs game again.
What Luke?
There's a karaoke bar in Tybee Island that we go to every year. They do karaoke like 6 nights a week. And I go in there, and Amy's like, are you doing it again? Yeah, of course I'm doing it again. I sing a Luke Combs song, and then people think I am Luke Combs. In spite of the fact I'm 8 inches taller than him.
Yeah, the fact... I mean, would he? You know him, so would he go to a karaoke bar when he's on vacation somewhere, sing his own damn song, just so people will... come up to him and say hello? I don't think he would. Would
he sing his own song? No. Would he sing another song?
Like
absolutely.
Coming up to you thinking that you're Luke Combs because you sang a Luke Combs song in a karaoke bar is probably one of the dumbest things I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, Luke would go into a karaoke bar and sing anything other than his own music.
Right.
And he would drink a mess of Miller Lights and hope to God that nobody said, hey, are you Luke Combs?
Right.
But he'd hang out with you all night long.
I feel like he's
he's
also
awesome
to that point where he can't do that anymore.
No, he cannot.
Luke wouldn't be able to get through the door before somebody was like, holy cow.
Yeah. Although, for the 5th year in a row, somewhere in the continental United States, there is someone telling their friends that they partied with Luke Combs. And right. I bought him a mess of Fireballs. Yeah, You did buy a dude who looks vaguely like Luke Combs. You bought him a lot of fireballs. I always make sure to take the picture, too, just so people show it to their friends and go, look, I met Luke Combs. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You met Luke Forks or Luke Brush. I don't know who that is, but it's not Luke Combs.
Brush. It's Luke Brush. I like that. That's the best one. All right, so at the moment, you are downloading College Football 26, correct?
It is on the screen. In the first commercial break, I will be firing it up. You will lose me for 3 minutes at a time. So every time we come back from commercial, you should probably ask, hey, are you there? Because the answer is going to be no, probably more than it should be.
College Football 26, early release day. So if you got the early copy, or the early download access, that's being done promptly.
Yeah, if you have the early access, I'm probably the only one in America that didn't take today off. So, sorry, we timed that poor. Amy didn't want to go on vacation with me after that game went on. Amy was committed to, I'm not going on vacation after that game comes out because you will sit in the house and play it, and I will get angry at you.
Absolutely. That's a smart move on her part. She is a smart woman. That is a fact. I haven't gotten it this year. I don't think I'm going to. I mean, I'm going to let you. I'm going to let you tell me whether I should or should not, or whether I have to. I guess is my main point. I just don't know that it's going to be all that different. I mean, I get that what they said that they were going to put the high school thing back in there, and that's one of the things that I wanted. But I don't know. I mean, I just bought the game last year. You know I'm cheap. I can't do this $70 every year thing.
That's cute. $70, 96 and some change. That's
Jesus.
Because I'm the way with Madden that you are with the college football game. I need somebody to tell me that Madden's worth it, and I hear this year it's going to be. Kurt Binkert swears it's going to change your life how you play Madden this year, but I'm not going to buy it until somebody I trust tells me that. Not that I don't trust Kurt. You also work for EA.
It is cool that they're adding all the new things. They got the Metallica Open for Virginia Tech and things like that. The leaks we've heard about. So if you're downloading it, if you are playing it as we speak, then chime in the chat. Let us know how that's going. The first beatdown of Georgia over Ohio State, 58-0, will be fun. It always is. The first one is always fun. After that, did they work on the fact that the defensive backs can jump 17 feet in the air? That's what I want to know.
I do know, so I did not get a release copy or anything like that. I do talk to a couple guys that do. And I know this year one of the big claims to fame on the college game is that guys can't intercept a pass if they didn't see it. So, like, their eyes have to be turned around to the ball. So they're not just going to be able to they can't go full, Stevie Wonder and just, hey, I never saw it, but I still caught it.
They go full Jedi, like they're facing down the field the other way, and they just feel its presence, and then just whoop, turn around and jump up 10 feet and catch it. I get it's a computer. I get that there are bugs, there are glitches. It's not going to be like real life. But come on, man! Telling me every time when I'm playing in the Road to Glory or whatever the hell it is, my coach is going to take me out in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter of the championship game? I don't think so. The Heisman Trophy winner sits out the last 7 plays of the of the championship game, all because the computer was stupid. Who does it think it is? Pete Carroll?
Well, and because you had probably already, audibled off 25 plays, so you already had 37 carries.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, wear and tear is a thing, bro. I actually like that part.
Oh, it's terrible.
I'm just hoping this time next year.
I don't care if your arm is falling off. that guy's not coming off the field.
I'm just hoping this time next year we are talking about the greatest song of all time has been added to add the realism to the greatest school in North America, which is my fighting West Virginia Mountaineers. I'm hoping next year we're singing country roads. Frankly, I've already got the speaker set up. I'm going to be singing country roads whether you put it in the game or not. I don't care.
Did they not do that? I thought they were going to.
No, it is not in the game, from what I've been told. Now, somebody might be lying to me just so I can get really, really excited. I will tell you.
This is the thing.
In
like
5
slowly,
minutes.
they're slowly adding in all of these school specific things, which I think is the coolest part about it. Right? Remember when we would get the game and there was just nothing specific about it? It was just, oh, look, all the fans are the same color. And now every team, we have the capability to have every team have their own little celebrations and all of that. I think that's like one of the coolest evolutions of sports video games. It's a far cry from like the first, what was that wrestling game? It wasn't the first wrestling game, obviously, but I'm trying to think. Warzone was the name of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin was on the cover.
Yep.
And the entire crowd would go, Player one! Player one! We've come a long way.
Yes.
I feel like we could celebrate that as fans. Whether or not you get your favorite fight song in this year or next year, I got a feeling it's coming.
I'm really impressed that they convinced Sammy Hagar to allow the Georgia Bulldogs to come out to I Can't Drive 55. I think that's a really good touch.
We should. We really, really should do that. All right, we got some super chats to get to here before the commercial break. The first one from Soaring Eagle. He says, I think we missed the AFC and NFC West grades. We did that.
That was a radio only day.
I see what that was.
And we will be having some of those. Are just between Tank's responsibilities and now mine. And yes, they actually gave me responsibilities. Seriously, the guy sitting here in a pair of sunglasses on a Monday morning because his head hurt so bad, they went, we want you to do more things.
He says, so for two of them, AFC, NFC West grades, off-season grades, he says, I'll give you the grades for San Francisco was an Alex Jones.
I blame the government that they won't let Brock Purdy get all the weapons that he needs to win a Super Bowl.
Bryce Huff is going to change everything, though. And then the Denver Broncos, C+ for the Denver Broncos.
I think that's exactly what I gave Denver because I really liked their free agency moves, but I did not love their draft.
Right. Let's go, Sir Jimothy. He says, welcome back. Y'all missed us. I mean, we missed y'all. Yes, that is true. All of the above. We missed you. You missed us. And now we don't need to miss each other because we're back together again.
We did decide something, though, that next year, the month after the draft, is going to be the Sportsocracy takes over South Georgia, and we're just going to rent a house for a month.
I love it.
Oh, that's happening. I can already tell you the address of the house.
Yeah.
Mainly because I got a couple fireballs in the owner, and he agreed to a number that it would shock and awe you. That's my superpower.
Yeah. Another one from Sir Jimothy. He says just to bother Ray Fireball Charles. Okay.
That's because I'm wearing sunglasses.
Reference to the sunglasses. Yeah. He just can't take it. Just can't take the sunshine.
I will say the UHD monitor, you talked about the college football game coming a long way. My technology in the Manor has evolved to such a point that I can't see anything on this screen that's not in the bottom third.
Right.
My sunglasses are just, so they will not be making it into the B segment.
Steven Tao says all Madden did differently was make the field slipperier in the rain. So there's that, I guess. Austin Grove said in Tank fashion, he's so cheap that he'll wait a few days. A few days is funny. 2 years. I'll get it in like 28 when I can get it for $5 in the bin over at.
Tank will buy it when I've already. Like if we had physical copies, Tank would just wait until I was done. Because today you would be inheriting College Football 25 because that game is dead to me forever.
Yeah.
Now I have to see if I can play this game more time than I played the last one, which is going to be hard to do.
I don't have time. I don't have time for it in my busy schedule anymore.
Tank, you have to make time.
Takes up all my time.
Tank, you have to make time, and it might be.
Haven't completed. I still haven't completed the 100% on Red Dead Redemption yet. So I got too much time invested.
Sanders Sports asked how many hours do I have on the last college football game. It's the highest number I've seen of anybody else. I don't remember what it was, but I can check it in the break.
Sanders says he's at 270 hours.
Mine's at least double that. It may be triple that.
That's a lot. That is a whole lot. Would you just leave it on at night and it counts?
No, you actually have to be tangibly playing it. Like it can't be.
Wow.
Because it will go into sleep. Now, just how much time was it on? I mean, how many hours are there between now and 1 year ago when that game came out? Because there's your answer.
Right.
Because I don't think it's been turned off one time.
You're in the Sportsocracy. We're going to take a break here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We'll be right back.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival.
And clear.
Thank you.
Is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
September 19th.
I'll be back.
Streaming live only on Hulu. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Get your laundry Vegas ready with Arm & Hammer Power Sheets. Just toss in a detergent sheet. No drips, no plastic jugs, no mess. Arm & Hammer is a proud sponsor of the iHeartRadio Music Festival. Clean up before you turn up. Shop Arm & Hammer Power Sheets now.
Hey, if you're listening to me right now, I have one thing every business needs most: attention. Think about it. We swipe and scroll past stuff all day. But when we're driving, cooking, and working out, we're also listening. That's the magic of audio at iHeart. We're in your next customer's ears while they're living life and listening, just like you are right now. So get your customers to listen up today using radio, digital, and podcasts. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. That's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Get ready, Asheville. It's time for the Big Wiener Party. Saturday, August 9th from 2 to 6 p.m. at Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue on South Slope. 9 outrageous teams, 2,700 hot dogs, 1 royal wiener. Hosted by food stars The Vulgar Chef and The Food in My Beard, with local celebrity judges and comedians from the Asheville Comedy Festival hyping each creation. Stick around for the after party and a late-night menu curated by The Vulgar Chef. All to support mental health through Linked for Life. Tickets are on sale now. Visit Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue online or socials for more info.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Hit play on the perfect summer playlist like Summer Classics. Road tripping with commercial-free weekends on Smells Like the 90s. Or zone out in the shade with a good podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Find your next summer preset now.
For the 2025 Atlanta Braves, it's time to dial in, which means every game means a little more.
First pitch, ground ball right side, diving stop by Ozzie. Got him. Whoa, what a play by Albies.
Coverage brought to you locally by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Mountain's home for the Braves on Asheville's #1 sports station. ESPN Asheville.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert?
I do love that the first thing that pops up when you... So I watch the intro, and the first thing that pops up after you pick your favorite team is positive play, where you won't say ugly things to people online. You have to accept that.
Ingalls, low prices.
Yeah, if you play me, you're probably getting called a fat loser a bunch.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumping a bag of hammers.
I had to look over and make sure he was still there.
Oh, I made it back.
Is it?
I made it back.
Have you started the dynasty yet?
So I watched the intro. I picked my favorite team. I agreed to the positive play that we won't say ugly things to people, which I don't know.
Yeah.
EA, I don't know if you've ever been in a Call of Duty chat before, but I mean, we all said okay.
Right.
But you play me.
Well, I mean, it's easy to say okay.
You play me, just know. I will tell you.
Nobody reads that stuff. Yeah, accept. I don't care.
My favorite line to tell people when I play them online is you should go into your living room. Ask your mother to take you to Best Buy or GameStop or wherever you buy games, and trade this game on anything because you couldn't possibly be this bad at anything else. I hear little squeaky voices, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to make you say bad words. I'm going to get you in trouble with your mom because you were going to tell me, you were going to say awful things to me because I am a jerk.
Yeah. Oh, man, we do spend a lot of time on our video games once we get hooked in. Right? I can't tell you how many hours I've wasted over the years doing, simulations of seasons and roster moves and drafts and all of those things. Playing Madden, playing college football, whatever it is. Stephen Tao says 83 days, 21 hours, and 47 minutes is what he spent playing Destiny 2. I don't even know what that is, but that's a lot of time invested.
That's a lot. Look, video games are awesome. They're awesome.
Yeah.
This is not like when we were kids. Now, I will say, this is a tangent that I didn't expect to go on today, but here we are. I was with Cowboy Zach Hurst over part of our break. His kids really like Minecraft. Minecraft looks like a game that I played in 1994, and I do not understand. How is that? Have you seen college football? Like, it looks like you're playing with real people. Why is Minecraft still a thing? It's like, look, I have this dog. That dog looks like a laundry hamper. Why is this entertaining to you?
Weird that dog looks just like that bush over there.
It's odd.
Just changed its colors and removed its eyes.
Yeah, that tree, that dog, and you all look. You're built exactly the same way.
Mario in 1985 looked better than Minecraft. Yikes! I don't get it. My kids play that game as well, or used to play that game as well. It's insane. It's insane how video games and stuff have taken over our lives. There was a story last week where let's see who did this study. Team from QS Supplies, a bathroom supplies company, surveyed 500 Americans and found that the average time spent using their phone on the toilet was 49 hours in a year. That seems low to me.
I was about to say, I do that in a month.
Right?
I think I did that while we were at the beach.
Mr. Scientist, some of us have digestive issues, okay?
Yeah,
and
maybe
we overshoot that 49 hours.
Look, Bill Nye, I like Fireball and Taco Bell. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'll bet the over, and it's not even close.
Social media, 66%. Watching videos, 40%. Responding to text and DMs, 30%. Wait a minute. This adds up to like 700%.
Well, that's because some of us are forward thinking, Tank, and we can do more than one thing at one time.
We're doing 800% of the work, sitting on our toilets, scrolling on our phones, getting business done in more than one way.
And my favorite sea shanty, boss makes $1, I make a dime. That's why I poop on company time.
There you go.
Ta-da.
You're in the Sportsocracy, ESPN Asheville. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400. Who knows? We'll talk sports at some point today. We'll be right back.
ESPN Asheville. Your weather forecast.
And we're clear.
High force here this afternoon, mix of clouds and sun.
Or are we going to talk about the video game for 3 hours?
Possible this afternoon and evening.
Speaking of which, away!
Upper 60s tonight, sunny and hot tomorrow with a better chance for afternoon and evening storms. Highs Tuesday afternoon, upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Showers and storms Wednesday, afternoon highs middle to upper 80s. Chance for more showers, even storms Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/20/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Give me those sauces, grab the chicken strips, let's dunk them in there. There's nothing like it. Hey, I'm Joey. And I'm Josh. And we're team members at our local Chick-fil-A. And a little thing you'll love about the Chick-fil-A chicken strips is dipping them in our sauces. My sauce is the barbecue sauce. If you wanted to add sweet, tangy flavors, there's nothing like it. I love the garden herb ranch sauce, but if you want a little bit more kick in the spicy side, you can mix it with buffalo sauce. Dipping them in our sauces, it is perfection.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Team members paid for their testimonials.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
See things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in Asheville has two things that all Sportsocracy fans crave: bold flavors and big portions. Oh yeah, and they've got the balls. Bear's famous bear balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork,
and wieners,
fried and then topped with bacon and cheese sauce. This is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of every month. They partner with the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm
Boom.
and debris?
We have a dual threat quarterback that is ready to take over college football.
That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
Back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Happy College Football 26 release day to you if you're participating in the festivities. Jeremy has already. Have you named the quarterback yet? Do you name it yourself, or do you give it a creative name?
Oh, well, the first one's usually me, and then the names get,
okay,
we'll say, more creative as time goes on.
I would. Yeah. I mean, it gets old having the same 3 names over and over and over again. You got to make stuff up. You got to make it fun sometimes. My current one on College Football 25 is the running back, first name Haywood. I will let you guess what the last name of the running back is.
Did you bring me a sandwich? Haywood, you bring me a sandwich.
That's totally it. Totally it. Anyhow, just a bit outside. We don't, sometimes we walk that line when political things happen. There's a little crossover between sports and politics and things like that. This story just kind of grabbed my attention because, the guy who just likes to up and rename stuff was asked about a certain football team's name, a certain football team that, might be looking for a home in the city that, he's kind of prominent in.
I don't even know.
He would not. President Donald Trump said he would not have changed the name of the Washington Commanders from the Washington Redskins. Now, my question to you is, could this happen? Or could we have it back? Could the president put enough pressure on Josh Harris and company to have them change the name? They've already said, I believe Harris is already on record that he would consider it, or at least he's dodged the question when it's been asked. Is that part of the deal?
So
Did Donald Trump just come out one day and go, you know what? I don't care what you call it. I'm Gulf of America in this thing.
No,
or the Washington Redskins.
You can call it whatever you want to, but we're going to call it that thing you don't want us to.
Right. I don't know. Donald Trump is, it is a separate, there was a article written on Pro Football Talk about this, and Mike Florio's getting into the ins and outs of, well, what if they need President Trump's help to get into the city and do the RFK remake and all of that? Then he could force them to change.
Which, by the way, they don't. They don't need his help. I know that one quite well. They need the city council to pass
if
it.
It's
That's
federal
it.
Property, he would have some sway in that.
Not
but I think
exactly.
It's right. It's a District of Columbia thing. It's not a federal government thing. It's in D.C., yes, but D.C. has its own city leaders that do stuff like that. So unless it was federal property that they were trying to get, then the president would have no direct sway over that, right? There's nothing that he could do is rubber stamp it and make it happen. But he is the president of the United States, and we've seen, sometimes when he applies pressure in certain areas, people do what he wants them to. So, I don't know. We'll see. Could be coming back, guys.
I mean, at this point, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know what he's allowed to do and what he's not, and I'm tired of trying to figure it out. Because every time I think, oh no, you can't, and he did. Whatever. I don't know, and I don't care. You want to know why I never leave my house? Because I'm scared of things that happen outside. My story's about the NHL and the Toronto Maple Leafs. I don't know if that team is good. I know they weren't for a long time. I think they have gotten a little better now. I would have to lean on David Smith and some of our other great hockey fan friends. But now they're doing a thing that I don't really understand. Now, I'm going to give you a little backstory here. I played competitive sports for a long time. I had some really good coaches. I had some less than awesome coaches. The number one thing that drove me nuts was the Johnny Rah-Rah, like team building. Oh, no, okay? We're dudes. We're going to fight each other at some point. Going to happen because we're competitive guys, and I don't like all of you. I don't need you to do some lamest thing to bond us together. Well, Toronto apparently does not adhere to that because they have brought in Dr. Haley Wickenheiser. Bet you she doesn't find her nameplate on the little vanities in the surf shops very often.
Mm-hmm.
She is one of the best women's hockey players ever, and she was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame back in 2019. She is currently the assistant GM of player development for the Toronto Maple Leafs. She came up with an idea. They brought in a world-class horse trainer that brought in a wild colt to talk about managing your emotions.
Okay.
Now I want you to take the journey with me. Have you ever met a hockey player? I know a handful of them, specifically from my time in Greeneville. I was around the Swamp Rabbits a lot. I cannot imagine 25 dudes being in a room and they bring in a horse and go, we're going to use this to talk about your emotions. In my head, there's 12 drunk Canadians going, can you believe this? They think this is going to work.
No, we're going to put that horse on skates and we're going to beat it up.
Oh, yeah. Now,
that's what hockey dudes do.
You beat me to the punchline here. Because in my head, there's a defenseman on the third line that just got on the horse and went, you tame the horse, you look it in its eyes and you tell it you're meaner than it is. And he just hopped on it with no saddle and it's looking at him going, I do whatever he says. And for some reason, he's got a Molson in his pocket.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a pocket beer.
Those skates act like spurs. You just, mule. So what was the purpose of this, though? I mean, what was the analogy with the horse?
So the analogy was that handling pressure and all of those things, that the players on the team were like 20-plus wild stallions. And if you can't get in lockstep with each other and you can't listen to the coach and listen to the direction, then all of a sudden we're just 20 wild horses. This feels like one of those things that an HR director came up with somewhere and went, this will be good. And everybody rolled their eyes through the back of their skull as it was done.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Well, I mean, look, of all the weird team building things, right, that you've either experienced or you've seen done or heard about done in your friends' offices. I mean, I guess that is a little more creative. We bring in a horse. It's an attention getter for sure. Like, what the hell is this horse doing here?
Well, I mean, here's the thing. The horse spent 3 days with a hockey team, and now the horse has a drinking problem. So that didn't go the way you wanted it to.
No.
Speaking of having a drinking problem, something happened while we were on vacation that I feel like we need to talk about.
Oh dear Lord, what happened?
The Pittsburgh Steelers might be that front office at this point. I think they're just spinning a wheel. Like, hey, what are we going to do now? Trade for Jalen Ramsey, Super Bowl.
But we had to have Jonnu Smith. What are you talking about?
This
Arthur Smith offense does not work without Jonnu Smith, and he has to have him at whatever cost.
So the first 7 words of that sentence were 100% right. Then you added a qualifier that was not needed. You could have stopped at this Arthur Smith offense does not work. That's 8 words. Sorry.
Precisely.
I added wrong. Mm-hmm. I saw this and just went, have you watched Jalen Ramsey lately? I mean, look, there were 3 players traded in this deal. So Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith go to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Minkah Fitzpatrick goes back to Miami, of which Minkah has to be going, could you two make up your mind, please? I got drafted there, traded here, and now I'm going back there. I mean, I feel like he looked at everybody and went, see you in 2 years.
I'll be back.
I do feel like this is a great time to ask Omar Khan and everybody with the Pittsburgh Steelers. You know Jalen Ramsey's not real good at this point, right? I mean, is that lost on – am I the only one seeing that? Or – and I get it. Minkah Fitzpatrick wasn't great last year either. But I still think he is.
Right.
I still think he is a really good player.
Right. I loved the response of, the pro Steelers side of this, right? Oh, the Steelers are a great organization, and great organizations are known to get rid of players a year before they fall off and make a Fitzpatrick. But wait a minute. Look at the other side of that deal. I mean, it would be something if, they traded Minkah Fitzpatrick and got some young piece or something like that. Well, you got a Jalen Ramsey that many of us believe is probably washed at this point. Maybe still, he can have a good moment or two.
Well, he's 31 years old.
Right. He's not what he used to be, obviously. None of us are after we've been doing it for, 10 years. But the Jonnu Smith thing, did you really? I mean, maybe I'm missing something here. But this all started with Jonnu Smith, correct? Miami Dolphins. There was rumors 3 weeks ago that Arthur Smith was wanting to get Jonnu Smith from the Miami Dolphins. Jonnu Smith. I mean, I don't know why he would want to leave Miami after the year that he had.
I don't think it was so much that he wanted to leave as they did not want to pay him.
Yeah, I guess. It did kind of baffle me.
So I saw this trade, and I'm not gonna lie, I laughed and went, "Is it possible for both teams to lose a trade?" Because I think you did. I think you both lost this. Miami got the better player, but now I don't really care how good your safeties are because you have me, Donald Duck, and something called a Cater Kohu playing cornerback for you. And that should scare the heeper-jeepers out of you. Do you realize how many receivers Miami plays that are really, really good this year? Have you looked at their schedule, honestly?
Not really in that sense, no.
All right, so let's do it now. Week 1, you get Michael Pittman.
Okay.
Who do you think is going to defend him? I mean, is it Donald Duck or Daffy Duck or whichever cartoon character you have playing on the outside?
Although you could have Storm Duck against Josh Downs on that one, right? So that could be an interesting storyline.
Well, I mean, it would be a really interesting storyline, except for one of them is good at football and the other one is not. So,
well, I mean, also the one of them doesn't have a quarterback, so. I mean, yeah, it's not going to be
Miami
a great matchup. However,
Miami, look, we're affiliates of the North Carolina Tar Heels. Storm was in Carolina, and then he bounced around and transferred. I don't even know where he wound up. Louisville? Isn't that where he ended?
Something like that.
I can tell you this as definitively as I can. You would have a better secondary if your starting corners were Donald and Darkwing Duck. That's how bad this actually is.
Right.
And so you go Michael Pittman, and then you go Stephon Diggs, and then you go, all the guys that the Bills have, and then you go Garrett Wilson, and then you go all the guys the Panthers have, and then you go Ladd McConkey and Jerry Jeudy and Drake London and Zay Flowers and Terry McLaurin and Chris Olave, and DK Metcalf, and Jamar Chase, and Mike Evans. You don't have anybody to defend the one, let alone the two. Right. The Miami Dolphins may give up 7,000 yards passing this year. I physically cannot figure out it. Like Miami. Okay, so you got. I don't think you understand how talent accumulation works, because right now the Miami Dolphins have 17 pass rushers. They have like 11 defensive tackles. They don't have one corner, not one corner on the entire roster that finished in the top 50 of cornerbacks last year. And it's just a hodgepodge of guys that I went, well, they could be good 3 or 4 years from now. And the problem is that none of those were 3 or 4 years ago. Jason Marshall, B.J. Adams, Kendall Sheffield. I don't understand it. Meanwhile, you now have 42 safeties as well. I don't understand the roster build because it doesn't make any sense, and I hammered them on this at the draft. How in the world did you get to Kenneth Grant at 13? It will never make sense to me. I don't care if you didn't even like Jahdae Barron. If you wanted to go completely off the board and just go, you know what, we got to take Savon Ravel at 13, I'd have been fine with it. You don't have any corners, and you play a schedule that has a whole mess of ones on it. Oh, by the way, you also play a slew of teams that have some of the deepest quarterback or wide receiver rooms in the NFL. This has bad news bears written all over it.
Well, I mean, it's Miami Speedster football. It's going to be, shootouts every week. And you better hope to God that Tua Tagovailoa is going to throw for 6,000 yards this year. And that Jalen Waddle is going to get over whatever illness he had last year. Tyreek Hill better be all that he used to be. Because you're going to need to score 45 points a week.
Yes, because you're not going to stop anybody. Oh, great! You have Muhammad Kamara and Chop Robinson and Bradley Chubb and the Phillips, Jalen Phillips out of UCLA. Sweet, you have 4 pass rushers. You have nothing in the back half. I can annihilate you running tunnel screens over and over and over again, and I will completely isolate your strength. Then you get to the offense and go, is that offense actually good enough to score points like that? Tua Tagovailoa was the 28th highest rated quarterback in the NFL last year, according to PFF. And by the way, your line got worse.
I hear no lies.
I think this team is straight up bad.
It'll be fun.
Do you know where Miami finished last year in points scored?
Oh, I'd say it's probably 21st.
22nd.
Ooh, that was close.
22nd. You look at that and go, yeah, man, Miami feels like a team that should be able to score a lot of points. But they don't.
No, it wasn't working last year. We talked about this all season long of how the build failed you. The atrophy of players, the injuries, all of the things came into play, and turmoil and discord and all of it's just, now it's turned into, okay, you got a couple of star offensive players. Good for you. Awesome. You got 2 wide receivers and a running back. That's sweet. Your quarterback's really questionable and may not play much longer in his NFL career. Your offensive line is terrible. And now that you've gotten rid of Jalen Ramsey, you don't have a corner that's even half serviceable.
Now, I want to look at this from the Pittsburgh perspective. Jalen Ramsey is an improvement over what they had last year. I'm not overly worried about losing Minka because they have Juan Thornhill and Deshaun Elliott.
Okay.
It just feels a little desperate. And now I what really would bother me about Pittsburgh is how many personalities are you planning on putting in this room and just assuming it's going to work? Because now you've got TJ Watt, who's the best player on this team, and I'm not sure it's all that close. that wants to get paid. You've already got trade rumors circulating about him that teams have been calling because Pittsburgh does not seem inclined to pay him again, which I cannot say this adamantly enough. Don't do that. Do not think this is one of those times that you should give up on a guy a year early because your fan base will not tolerate it. Because they already don't like the Aaron Rodgers thing. I don't think they love the DK Metcalf thing, and I don't think they love the Jalen Ramsey thing either. And you have one of the most loyal fan bases in the league. They put up with a lot of mediocrity over the years.
That would kind of be the nail in the coffin for a lot of them.
I agree, especially as you've got Cam Hayward, who is elder statesman, 36 years old. You're not going to keep him around here forever. I
agree with you. I think the Pittsburgh move absolutely reeked of desperation. And the problem is there's no winning solution out of this. Is there? There's no contender here. I don't even look at this team and go, they're a really good division contender. But you're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
ESPN Asheville.
And we're clear.
Your mountain weather
We got a
forecast.
super chat coming back.
Hot for us here this afternoon. Mix of clouds and sun widely.
Yes.
Storms possible this afternoon and evening. Highs upper 80s to near 90. Upper 60s tonight. Sunny and hot tomorrow with a better chance for afternoon and evening storms. Highs Tuesday afternoon, upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Showers and storms Wednesday afternoon. Highs middle to upper 80s. Chance for more showers, even storms Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey y'all, this is Jason Aldean. You know I'm all about supporting what matters to us, our families, our freedoms, and our country. That's why I made the switch to Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. With Patriot Mobile, you're getting top quality service on the same great networks, and every bill helps support our veterans and defend our freedoms. It's time to put your dollars where it counts. Join me in switching to Patriot Mobile today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Aldean or call 972-PATRIOT today.
Each year, about 2,000 pedestrians and over 800 cyclists are hit by cars in North Carolina. You can change this. Drivers must yield to pedestrians, and cyclists must obey traffic laws. Visit watchformenc.org.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call, 828-774-6343. We're here for what matters most, you.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The iHeartRadio app now has presets, just like in the car. You're our number one. Make us yours. ESPN Asheville, the Mountain's favorite sports station, streaming 24/7. Your home for the Sportsocracy. Weekdays at noon. The Tar Heels and Atlanta Braves baseball.
Most people out here think that taking care of one another is important. And most people would step up for a neighbor going through a tough time. Most people around here help out friends and family when they need it. But the funny thing is, most of us won't look for help when we need it. Talk to someone if you're struggling with mental health, because most people out here really care. Find more information at loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step, with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction.
Where are you at?
General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
From the Ingalls studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the number one preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Pay. That's pay. Enter it now.
Go to ESPNAVL.com to play, and good luck.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk.
Are you ready?
Scan.org wants you to know that now there's a CT scan that can detect lung cancer early.
Try to do two things at once.
You stopped.
All right, the open's coming.
All right. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit savebythescan.org. It could save your life. Savebythescan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery. Live from the Ingalls studio.
ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are the Sportsocracy. Glad to be back live here in the Ingalls studio. Also, Jeremy coming to us live from the NFLDraft.net Mullet Manor, where he's fired up college football 26 and just forgets that we're doing a radio show.
I didn't forget. I knew. I just the clock on my oven is a minute slower than it should be, and so I thought I had a minute longer than I did.
Yeah. Okay. He says Jeremy's trying to play his video games and get his pizza rolls in during the show. I like the multitasking.
Don't you judge me?
Good on you.
And it's not pizza rolls. I have a Little Caesars pizza that should be here at roughly 3 o'clock, and we're going to have a day.
Aha.
We're just going to have a day. That's the way this is going to go.
Okay. Fair enough.
We're back. Now, that is probably the announcement of the day. For those of you that have asked, when is our schedule going to get back to normal? Today. Because we don't have another day off before the start of the college football season.
Really?
Nope. At least not one scheduled.
Not another Braves game during the day?
Oh, I did not think about that. I don't know if I went that far.
Yeah.
I will have to check.
I think we only got there's only 2 or 3 day games during the week left over on the Braves schedule. Honestly, yeah, I think there's 1 at the end of this month, and then there might be 2 next month. Maybe 1 in September. There's not a lot of those coming up. And we're going to focus in little by little, more and more every day on the NFL season. I know the start of this program is a sign of where we're at right now. Just we're kind of in no man's land. Nothing's really happening in the NFL world. We got no camps. We got no nothing. We got no real news coming out about anything. Speaking of, we got a super chat asking about some news. Don't forget, you can super chat us as well. All you got to do is get on the YouTube stream, youtube.com/thesportsocracy. Subscribe to the channel and become a member of the House of Reprehensibles. The super chat from Colin. What have you heard about Josh Simmons? Josh Simmons, the draft pick out of Ohio State.
I haven't heard a ton, to be really honest with you. Most of it is that they do believe he will be ready for the start of the season, which we were not sure of originally. I think there is a good chance, and I will say, if I were handicapping who's going to be the left tackle of the Kansas City Chiefs, I would say Josh Simmons probably has, I'll say he has the upper hand. I know they paid Jalen Moore, but they didn't really pay Jalen Moore. It was a lot of money for who he is. It's not a lot of money for a starting left tackle. So they may I don't know. I think they have left open a lot of options. Because they do have Jalen Moore. They do have Josh Simmons. They got Jawan Taylor on the right, who I tried my best to tell you. You're not going to enjoy that. I don't know. I look at Kansas City so much differently than I have in the past. And I think that's one of the things about this year. You know, we've been working on the schedule and trying to get to as many teams as we can. And one of the things that I have discovered about how I feel about the NFL now is I don't feel like the top side is as strong as it has been in the past. And that could lead to just absolute unabashed chaos. Because I feel like every team in the NFL that's on the high side has a way that they can win week in, week out. They're really good at something. But I almost feel like they all have a weakness that could unwind everything. I only don't feel that way about two teams, and it's the two I think are going to play each other in the Super Bowl. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Baltimore Ravens. I don't feel like those teams have a big, gigantic weakness. Everybody else, I think you have a wart. And I don't know that Kansas City is going to be... I do know what I'm getting ready to say. They're not going to be 15-2. I feel very sure of that. Mm-hmm. I think they're more vulnerable than they've been. Well, you're not wrong.
Right. I mean, we talked about it a lot last year of Kansas City, this is the year. If you were going to get them, this is the year because they're not as good. And then they did end up with, winning some really close games. Also, some of those spots on the schedule were a little weak.
A little weak.
Let's try to be nice.
From week 10 on, they played a team that won double-digit games, and they got smacked by them.
Yeah, but that was the last game of the season. That doesn't count.
No, that was Denver. That was Denver. Denver went 9-8.
That was the one you were referring to.
No, I was talking about Buffalo because that was in week 11.
Got
now that I look at it, I think Houston and the Chargers both won 10 games. So that won more than 10. Apologies.
Right.
I don't know. I look at Kansas City and a lot of last year felt like smoke and mirrors. It also felt like you had some teams that weren't quite ready. Baltimore had so many moving pieces last year that I didn't feel like Baltimore was Baltimore until the end. And then by the time you got there were some buds. Mm-hmm. Baltimore's way deeper now than they have been in the past. That's always been my drawback of Baltimore is, man, you get thin in a hurry. They don't really have that problem anymore. They may have the deepest offensive line in the NFL. Because legit, they're 9 deep. when you look at the 5 starters, adding Joe Noteboom as insurance, whichever guard doesn't start, Garrett Dellinger, Emory Jones, and Carson Vincent. And I get it. Some of those guys are young, but they were also young guys that I thought could come in and play right away.
To me, the Noteboom move was like to me that was like one of the clinchers of this. That's an underrated move that could push them over the edge. Because as much as Ronnie Stanley has felt like, up and down out of the schedule or out of the roster and all of that, on injured and stuff, that felt like one of those moves of, okay, we're serious this time. Because they don't have any other holes really other than that.
Well, man, and you look at Ronnie Stanley. Ronnie Stanley played in every single game last year.
Mm-hmm.
That's just insurance.
Absolutely.
I like Baltimore a lot. And I saw Gambit fan, and I've lost it now. It said Kansas City won a lot of stupidly close games that they really shouldn't have. That's the thing. Is that Kansas City is really good at being good. They're very experienced in close games. And so a lot of times that tie goes to the runner, whether it should or not. Yeah, Kansas City made it to the Super Bowl last year. Were they better than Buffalo? No. No, they weren't. And if you play that game 10 times out of 10, if you play that game 10 times, Buffalo's going to win 7 of them. And I don't see how you could watch it in the regular season and not see that. I feel the same way about Baltimore. The difference is that Kansas City knows how to win in the playoffs because they've done it so many times. And they just tease fate over and over and over again. That luck runs out at some point because eventually you play these other teams in so many of those games that they start figuring out how to win it. Yeah. Right now, there's another team in the AFC that legit knows how to win.
The luck runs out when you find another team that can match your grit late in the game. When you can find somebody that can out-scheme you. Or prey upon your weakness, like the Philadelphia Eagles did in the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean, and you look at how
the AFC has really figured out how to do that yet.
Well, I mean, they all know how to do it. They just don't have the players to do it. Because if I had a big weakness for the Baltimore Ravens, it would be I don't really love their pass rushers. Mm-hmm. I don't think they really have guys that are threats like that. Now, in the back half, that's the best back seven, one of the best back sevens you'll ever see. Especially if they stay healthy. Do you realize how good that secondary is at this point? Even losing our Darius Washington, that I thought was a big deal at the time. By the way, I don't think that's a big deal anymore. Especially with the signing of Jair Alexander, because I think he's going to play almost like a hybrid role. Mm-hmm. I know Marlon Humphrey's going to play a considerable amount out of the slot. But, I mean, then you just look at, okay, you got Marlon Humphrey, you got Chidobe Awuzie, you got Jair Alexander, you got Nate Wiggins. That's a lot of insulation from injuries. Look, it can happen to anybody. They could be playing Robert Longerbeam and Bilal Cone by the end of the year. I hope they're not, but they could be. But you've just protected yourself to such a point.
Longerbeam, that could have been a good get, man. A lot of people like that 6th-round pick.
Yeah, I look back on how much of my life I spent on the 2025 NFL draft and went, well, I'm not doing that exactly that way again this year. And this year we're going to bring in some new friends. Because I talked way too much about guys like that.
Uh-huh.
But it is intriguing to me. I think I'm at a point where Kansas City, it now doesn't make sense. And if you ever want to know where takes of mine on sports come from, that's where it is. It has to make sense. It's one of the things that I love about sports is that 99 times out of 100, they just make sense. The better team wins way more often than they don't. And usually if they don't, I can draw a straight line as to why. Kansas City doesn't make sense anymore. Because I think roster for roster, but the Buffalo Bills are better. The Baltimore Ravens are better. I'm not sure the LA Chargers aren't better. And I think Denver is close. I think the Raiders aren't that far behind. Cincinnati, if they can figure out, pay a pass rusher. I don't even care at this point which one it is. Just sign one of them. The Cincinnati Bengals have become like the great hostage negotiation of the NFL. I'm going to need you to release one hostage, or I'm not going to trust you. And until you do, that's your sign of good faith, whether it's Shamar Stewart or Trey Hendrickson.
It's a joke at this point.
It would, if it wasn't so sad, it would be comical. But the AFC's so deep at this point. Now, once it falls off a cliff, you get to the Jets and the Dolphins and the Browns and the Jaguars. You get there, that's not great. But, I mean, you got 11 teams here that I think are legit competitive. Right now, the Indianapolis Colts are the 11th best team in the AFC. If they had a quarterback, they could contend for the division. That's how good that roster is, 2-53. And I just think it's hard for Kansas City to keep pulling that rabbit out of the hat. Because you keep tempting fate, and one of these days it's going to bust your keister. And I don't know. Kansas City is one of those weird teams that I just keep looking at everything that comes out of Vegas, and none of it makes sense.
What do you mean?
So I've been gone for 10 days, so I have to find the current number. Kansas City's win total is 11.5.
Yeah.
Does that not feel really high to you?
No.
How many teams in the NFL have a higher number than 11.5?
I don't know. 2.
0.
3.
11.5 is the highest number on the board.
Really?
It's them, the Bills, the Eagles, and the Ravens.
Okay.
If you had to bet your house right now on a team to win 12 games, where do the Chiefs fall on that in that list? Looking at that schedule. Did you take them over Baltimore?
No.
No. Take them over Buffalo.
They'd be fourth in line.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Kansas City and San Francisco right now are kind of falling into the same line of I understand that you trust because they've been good for a long time. But you look at this roster, that doesn't make any sense. What is Kansas City good at right now? Like the one thing that they can hang their hat on is what?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. And I'm not going to lie, I walked you into this, so don't feel bad that I just walked you into a terrible 90 seconds. So the thing that you're so confident in, what just is undeniably what the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be Super Bowl competitive with, is the quarterback that finished 7th in passing yards, had double-digit interceptions, and in terms of QBR was 8. He was fractionally better than Kyler Murray. I get it. Pat Mahomes, great. It deserves all the money. I'm not saying any of those things. What I'm saying is that Pat Mahomes was not as good last year as you want him to be. Now, he becomes what he's been in the past. Okay. Pat Mahomes was not good enough last year.
Do the injuries to his wide receivers count at all in this argument for you?
It would if I had any belief that you had fixed it. But you literally just lathered up the exact same group of receivers and went, nope, doing it again.
Yeah, because you didn't get to play with them. You got 3 toys and none of them were on the field together.
Rashee Rice was the only one that wasn't consistently out there. Xavier Worthy played every single game last year.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood Brown, he was out there. He just wasn't any good. And now you're just doing it again. And maybe I'm oversimplifying this, but I've already read this book one time before. I watched the team do this very same thing. Mm-hmm. And about this time frame, too. New England with Tom Brady. I can throw out any 5 garbage men to catch passes from Tom Brady, and it's going to work. Well, guess what? It didn't for an extended period of time. And I just think that's where we're at with Kansas City. You've gotten too expensive. You're overextended. And be really honest with yourself. How many players on that salary cap of the Kansas City Chiefs do you not look at and go, they're overpaid? Because it's a lot.
Is it?
All right, I'm just going by cap number here.
We'll look. Hang on. Let's look at it during the break, and then we'll come back here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
Once you're 1,000,
and we're clear.
Or after you win bonus bucks, you'll have to decide on whether you'll tell everybody or keep it to yourself. The winning happens every weekday, right here.
Win $1,000 on ESPN Asheville. Is your truck wimpy, trailer barely hanging on, shed crumbling? Leonard Truck Outfitters, the largest truck outfitters in the Southeast, supercharges your gear. Rugged bedliners, hardcore truck accessories, top quality trailers, and sheds built to last. With over 100 locations and years of experience, visit LeonardUSA.com.
Take me out to the ball game.
Book a stay out of town.
Book a spa package and lounge by the pool.
Luxury travel, no hassle for you.
So I'll book a boutique stay.
With a gym and breakfast that's free.
And it's 1, 2, 3 clicks away to your perfect Booking.com stay.
The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city. Booking.com, yeah.
Official accommodation partner of MLB.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like, to check you have your phone first, before the cab pulls away.
Hey, thanks, man. No, wait, my phone! Come back! It's my boarding pass, credit cards, phone numbers, my life! Come back!
Checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Hit play on the perfect summer playlist like Summer Classics. Road tripping with commercial-free weekends on Smells Like the 90s. Or zone out in the shade with a good podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Find your next summer preset now.
Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in Asheville has two things that all Sportsocracy fans crave: bold flavors and big portions. Oh, yeah. And they've got the balls. Bear's famous bear balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork, cornbread, and deep fried and then topped with bacon and cheese sauce. This is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and first Sunday of every month. They partner with the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Sportsocracy.
What are you people? On dope?
We're back in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. Jeremy coming to us live from the NFLDraft.net Mullet Manor. I'm live in the Ingles studio, and so the assertion made was that the Kansas City Chiefs have too many overpaid players. Correct?
That is my assertion, yes.
Okay. All right. So I pulled up the Kansas City contracts. I'm looking at over the cap. They have, $27 million to Jawan Taylor, not exactly great. Travis Kelce at $19 million for what he's worth, like what's left of him. I don't feel like what we saw last year was $19 million worth.
Nope.
Did you?
Nope. Travis Kelce looked 200 years old last year.
Right. I mean, he looked very Rob Gronkowski-like. Just slow, plodding, didn't really have that pop. Might have seen it a time or two, but most of the time he was ineffective.
And even with that, Gronk was so big and so physical that it still worked.
Oh yeah, he could do other things.
Kelce doesn't really do that. He was always just really good in space and really slippery. And don't get me wrong, he's a big dude too. He just wasn't that physical like that.
Right. Jalen Moore at $11 million this year. I mean, that's not spending a lot on a left tackle.
But I don't know what you're getting.
But, I mean, that's just a shot in the dark. But then after that, I don't – help me find the others. Because, I mean, that's, 3 or 4 that are overpaid. The rest of it is Patrick Mahomes. I'll pay you whatever you want. Chris Jones, same thing. Trey Smith, Creed Humphrey. All those guys, none of those guys are overpaid.
Okay, keep going.
All right.
Keep going. Because what you did was you stopped at $10 million and went, oh, we're fine. Drew Tranquil's making $8.5. Mike Dana's making $8 million. Christian Fulton's making $7 million. Marquez, it's one thing when you have 2 or 3 of those. They have 14 of them that are just in this same $3.5 to $7 million range. None of them are any good. There's my problem. Is that yes, you have Pat Mahomes, and I think Pat Mahomes at 28, his cap number is $28 million. That's probably the greatest value in sports.
Yes.
Straight up, at a $28 million cap charge, that is out of this world. You're paying Juwan Taylor $27.3. That's insane. Right. And yeah, you got Chris Jones and Trey Smith and Creed Humphrey. From there's not another good value on his team outside of Trent McDuffie. And McDuffie's getting ready to get paid.
Nick Bolton at 6'5".
Nick Bolton's fine. He's an off-ball linebacker.
Yeah. Yeah.
It gets into positional value. Okay, I'll give you that one at 6'5". What else you got for me?
Yeah.
Because what I'm seeing is a lot of Sky Moore and Felix Anadike-Uzama and Charles Omenihu. You're fine. I don't think you're anything special. There's just not a lot of special to this roster. We used to look at it and go, the offensive line is so good and Pat Mahomes is so good that none of the rest of it really matters. You got a really smart defensive coordinator that can kind of cobble this thing together. The defense will be good enough. I don't think the offense is good enough at this point. Because I'm looking at that line going, it doesn't look the way that did a year ago. Creed and Trey are great. I think the other 3 are average at best. Mm-hmm. I was going to be much meaner there, but I've been on vacation and I felt the urge to be nice.
Hoping that, hoping that the rookies or the young guys step in and play a role. Because you're going to have to rely on if Juwan Taylor goes souther. Was that a word? I don't know.
Further south.
If Jalen Moore is no good, then you're going to have Josh Simmons be awesome. Now Travis Kelce, I mean he's out there saying good things about him in the media. I found a little interview that he did about Josh Simmons, and they were asking him about, how he thinks he's coming along with his participation in the OTAs or whatever. And, he said he's moving fine with, in the recovery of the injury and stuff. They even had him playing, scout team defensive end at one point during training camp, which I don't think that's a good idea.
It's fine.
You got a guy coming off an injury. I don't know if I want to, just stick him out there for any.
I'm not what I don't put guys in bubble wrap. I'm honestly, I'm probably the worst person to ask that question because I think a lot of times when you baby these guys, you actually do them no favors. So I have no problem with that.
But Kelsey said on his podcast about Simmons was when Simmons was on the other side of him and he grabs a hold of you. You know the difference. Like you know there's some power to this kid. It's just is he at risk of re-injuring himself? Is he ready for the big stage coming from the Big Ten? I know it's a step up.
Let me ask you a question.
Too much of a step up for Josh.
Well, it's a step up for every offensive tackle. Let me ask you a question. Of the top 40 PFF graded offensive tackles in the NFL last year, how many of them were rookies?
Oh, geez.
You had
2.
It's 1, and it was Joe Alt.
1?
Who played on the right side, and he was exponentially better of a prospect. And by the way, I can do that for about every year of the last 20. It's a lot to ask a rookie to come in here, especially on a team that's really, really good. Mm-hmm. It is a lot to ask a guy to come in and just hit the ground running at offensive tackle because you're going through some things.
Yep.
You're going through, you're having to deal with speed that you've never dealt with before. You're having to deal with every single guy on the opposite side is as good as you, if not better. Mm-hmm. And I guess that's just where I'm at with Kansas City is I look up and down the roster and go, there's nothing special about this roster anymore. And I don't think Pat Mahomes behind that offensive line is going to find that lightning in a bottle that he's had for all of these years. And then you look at Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. It seems like what now?
I said that seems like a big gamble to me. Because he just keeps making it happen.
He keeps making it happen, and he did it behind one of the best offensive lines in the league. He was so bad in the Super Bowl that it's almost hard for me to look past. And it wouldn't be so unsettling if that wasn't the second time it's happened.
Exactly. I mean, here's the thing. The book is out, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The book is out on how to beat Kansas City. And they didn't do anything to make that stronger.
And that's my problem.
Right,
See, I always love when...
The first time you got your ass kicked in the Super Bowl by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I'm oddly enough wearing my shirt right now, but when you got your ass kicked by Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl, you couldn't block anybody. Same thing happened against the Philadelphia Eagles this past year. It takes that special unit to be able to bring the pressure. Also, injuries have played a big role in that, right? I mean, injuries played a role in the first time against Tampa. You were playing with backup offensive linemen. You were playing with backup offensive linemen again against the Philadelphia Eagles, and you went, you know what? We don't have to be as good as we were at the offensive line position, which is strange. Is this the falling off year? Maybe so. They're going to need a lot of help on that offensive line. But as far as, the assertion that Patrick Mahomes may not be able to do the magic anymore, I can't get there. I mean, I've seen him do it for 3 years now. And you go back to 2023 when his weapons were, Jerick McKinnon and Justin Watson and Marquez Valdez-Scantling and Kadarius Toney and Rashee Rice, and he didn't have any. This trio, I'll take this trio all day long.
What year did you say that was?
This was 2023.
Okay. Do you know what he had in 2023 in front of him?
Yes.
3 of the best offensive linemen in the league.
Yes.
He doesn't have that anymore. That's my problem.
He's only got 2 of the 3. Mm-hmm.
He's got 2 of the 3 and 3 absolute liabilities on the outside of him. I mean, that's the part nobody wants to talk about is, yes, he only lost Toney, who may have been I think Thuney was put in a bad situation last year where he had to play on the outside because they had nothing else, and somehow you got worse. Mm-hmm. Somehow you got worse. And nobody's talking about this. It's just, oh, he's going to just light it up and do it all over again. I'm not so sure that he will.
Yeah.
And I get it. You blindly trust in Pat Mahomes. He was the 8th highest rated quarterback in the NFL last year. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a problem.
Super Bowl.
It wasn't a problem until it was. And that whole regression happened weird. That was the first year since that year that he got run over by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that he had 3 of the top 10 highest rated linemen in the league. Doesn't have that anymore. Doesn't even have the high side of that anymore. I mean, Jalen Moore's parents wouldn't tell you he's that good. So, it just you're out of your mind.
Nobody's arguing.
It is what it is. And you look around and it's death by 1,000 paper cuts. The NFL is meant to do this. This is the check and balance, competitive balance. You can't keep everybody forever. And so you're going to have years where you're coming in and you're bringing a knife to a gunfight. Because I hate to break this to you, the Baltimore Ravens are better at every damn position on the field than the Kansas City Chiefs. Every single one of them. There is not one position group that I would take Kansas City over Baltimore.
Okay.
Quarterback is the closest thing to a push, and I said the room, not one individual player. Because I got news for you, Patman. All right, let me see if maybe this makes it a little clearer. How many games do the Baltimore Ravens win if Lamar Jackson got abducted by space aliens? They have to go with Cooper Rush with that team. I still take them to go 10-7.
8 or 9.
I'd still take them to go 10-7.
Maybe. Yeah.
What happens to the Kansas City Chiefs?
I don't even know who the backup is there anymore.
Oh, it's
still Carson Wentz, is it?
No, it's Gardner Minshew. With Gardner Minshew, how many games does this team win?
Come on, El Mustachio. He's taking them, man, 13-4.
I'll go 4-13 for the win. Because I've actually already read that book.
This team ain't that bad.
Look at it without Pat Mahomes. Take the Pat Mahomes blinders off and realize how many receiving corps in the NFL would you put behind Rashee Rice, Hollywood Brown, Sky Moore? Because you don't have Justin Watson anymore. This receiving corps is not good. You're counting on a whole lot of guys that are nowhere near as good as people think they are. Juju Smith-Schuster is a liability.
You forgot Xavier Worthy.
No, I didn't. I said him the first time. I didn't really feel the urge to say him again because I don't really care. I think he's a middle-of-the-road, low-end 2, high-end 3. He does one thing. That's it. Oh, by the way, your running game. You really feel good about Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt? Which, by the way, Kareem Hunt's better than Isaiah Pacheco, and it's not even close. I don't understand. Oh, no doubt. I mean, it was blatantly obvious last year.
Oh, yeah, down the stretch of the season, it was, I laughed at people who even made the assertion that Isaiah Pacheco should still be starting for this team.
I mean, I'll be honest with you, there were times that I thought Carson Steele looked better than Isaiah Pacheco. And he had played linebacker. And
yep.
I caution people in a league that I think has 5 or 6 elite quarterbacks. There's one pivot spot. Mm-hmm. In a league that has 5 or 6 elite quarterbacks, has another 10, and I think it was Gary maybe that said this, quarterbacks get too much credit and they get too much blame. And I can't say he's wrong. Genuinely, I can't say that he's wrong.
No.
Because now you've got
that comes with the territory.
You have a slew of guys that are close to Pat Mahomes, and what's around them is exponentially better. It's exponentially better. Oh, by the way, you've still got young guys that are making no money. I'm looking right at Jaden Daniels and C.J. Stroud. They're making no money. So their supporting casts are 3 times what yours are. Washington probably has 7 offensive linemen on that roster that would start for Kansas City right now. And 2 receivers that are light years better than anything you have. And as you keep doing this, you just go, you know what? The fact that you can win close games and you've been here before, it ain't going to keep carrying you forever.
You're in the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville. Speaking of the Washington Commanders, are they gonna be able to hold on to Terry McLaurin? Is there an actual kerfuffle that's going to cause problems going into the season here? We'll talk more about that coming up here in just a moment, as well as when we come back, it'll be time to get weird.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Thank you.
Your mountain weather forecast.
Hot course here this afternoon. Mix of clouds and sun. Widely scattered shower storms possible this afternoon and evening. Highs upper 80s to near 90. Upper 60s tonight. Sunny and hot tomorrow with a better chance for afternoon and evening storms. Highs Tuesday afternoon. Upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Showers and storms Wednesday. Afternoon highs middle to upper 80s. Chance for more showers, even storms Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by North Carolina Department of Transportation.
Each year, about 2,000 pedestrians and over 800 cyclists are hit by cars in North Carolina. You can change this. Drivers must yield to pedestrians, and cyclists must obey traffic laws. Visit watchformenc.org.
Switching to Progressive is a game-winning call. And that reminds us of other game-winning calls in the history of sports.
It was a doubleheader in August, and really hot inside the concession stand. So instead of waiting for people to come to me, I figured I'd walk around yelling, "Hot dogs here!" And that's how I became the first hot dog vendor in sports.
Okay, not really a game-winning call, but it was a good call. You can make one too. Switch to Progressive and you could save hundreds. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
Dick Steele Days are happening now. You won't want to miss our biggest sale of the summer. Scorecard members.
Did he say Dick Steele?
Purchase of 150 or more. Plus 3 days of amazing savings start Tuesday. Check out offers for brands like Nike, Adidas, Hoka, and Stanley. And check back daily for new one-day deals Tuesday through Thursday. Score the season's hottest savings before they're gone on July 10th. Shop in the app and on Dix.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
See things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
Welcome to the Ingalls Table, a delicious destination with recipes galore. Need to whip up a dessert, entree, side dish? No problem. The experts from the Ingalls Table take you through it step by step with expert tips and advice along the way. Find the Ingalls Table at ingalls-markets.com or swing by the store and pick up your free copy of the Ingalls Table magazine. And let's get cooking. Ingalls, low prices, love the savings.
Buying or selling a home doesn't have to be stressful. Let me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert, guide you every step of the way. Whether you're searching for your dream home, looking to sell quickly, or exploring investment opportunities, I've got the experience and the tools to get you the best deal possible. Call me, Clarissa Marshall with eXp Realty at 828-774-6343. Let's make your real estate dreams a reality. I'm your trusted realtor. I'm making moves and making dreams come true.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
It is ESPN Asheville, and it is time to get weird. I hope you got a good chance on Friday to celebrate our independence. It's always one of my favorite holidays of the year.
I celebrated it with Cowboy Zach Hurst, who he celebrated our nation's independence by blowing up a small part of it. That was the most impressive fireworks show I've ever seen in my life, and it was in a neighborhood with, I think the lowest blood alcohol level of anybody with a lighter was at least 0.2.
Right. We celebrated downtown, or you celebrated down at the beach, down at Tybee, or no, you were in Charleston, I guess, for the 4th. And I celebrated downtown, Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, It, in fact, was the place to see the fireworks this year because they shot them off on the South Slope. They had a nice little festival area, big, vendors. The streets were closed off. It was a couple of block radius right there on the South Slope. It's a very cool event. You can go check out our Facebook page for images of the wonderful fireworks show that the city of Asheville put on. Every community celebrates in their own way, and Waynesville, no difference. Waynesville, North Carolina. Right across the hill here. Over in Haywood County. And get some listeners on AM 1400, I'm sure. They had their little 4th of July holiday event. It was nice. They had, same kind of thing. Vendors show up, had some local bands playing. It was all nice, well, and good. And it was an event that they will repeat next year. However, they call it the second annual Great American Bash, and I don't think you can do that. I believe the WWE is going to be calling for a cease and desist order on your Great American Bash event. Waynesville, you can't just steal that, especially not in Western North Carolina. We all know what that is. The Great American Bash, all wrestling fans know, was one of the greatest promotions of all time in wrestling history. Back in the 1980s, if you did not know, Dusty Rhodes put together the Great American Bash to bring in all of the greatest wrestlers from around the territories.
For hard times, Daddy.
To compete.
That's the American dream, Dusty Rhodes.
At the American Legion Memorial Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, 1985, July the 6th, the Great American Bash. It was the NWA and Crockett Promotions answer basically to WrestleMania. And it was very successful. It was a one-of-a-kind. And the only real reason I bring this up, other than to tell, Waynesville to cease and desist before they get a letter from the WWE, is to say I didn't know that at that 1985 event that would be the equivalent to a WWE pay-per-view right now. Like, imagine SummerSlam, and they took an hour out for a David Allan Coe concert. David Allan Coe played an hour at the original Great American Bash in 1985 in Charlotte. That is Southern as Southern gets. Dusty Rhodes, Tully Blanchard in a steel cage. Oh, by the way, here's David Allan Coe.
WCW was a wild time.
Well, that was pre WCW.
Oh, that was
NWA.
Okay.
Right. That was Crockett. WCW didn't, Turner didn't take over until like 90. So, 89, I think. Anyhow.
People have always said this is really a wrestling show under the guile of professional football. I'm going to tell this story, and I'm going to try my best not to laugh.
Okay.
There is a Python challenge in Florida. Now, I did not tell you about this story before I told it. I want you to tell me what you think the Florida Python Challenge is. Because I'm not going to lie, my first 4 guesses would not have been anywhere close. Hulk Hogan would have been involved in one of them. Ron Jeremy would have been involved in the second one. And I'd have been super wrong on both.
Yes. No, this has got to be the annual roundup of pythons in the Everglades.
That is correct. From July 11th,
most pythons win.
From July 11th to the 20th, registered participants try to catch as many. I'm gonna use. I have to use this line because now I'm never calling snakes anything other than gigantic danger noodles. That's. I'm also going to use that line in other affects, and you can write that joke yourself.
Sure.
To register, you go online, you pay a $25 fee. Mm-hmm. You complete a mandatory online training module.
Yep, got to make sure you're safe out there.
Yep, you got to pass it with an 85% score.
Okay.
You can only use non-motorized tools like hooks, tongs, and bags. I swear to God, it says this in the release. No firearms, dogs, or drones allowed.
Absolutely not.
You must then humanely kill the snakes and check them in at official drop-off locations. All right, so I want you to take the journey with me. We now have, for the next 10 days, starting on the 11th, we have, I'm going to safely say, 1,000 Bubbas and Jimmy Bobs in the Florida Everglades with a pair of grilling tongs trying to catch Burmese pythons. And all of you tell me survival of the fittest and evolution and things like that don't really exist. This is the definition of it. We are going to allow people, some of which may not be registering real high on the IQ scale, to take one online training module and then go try to varmint wrangle a Burmese python. Am I the only one that sees how this is going to end? I mean, I get it. There is no recorded event where a Burmese python has killed a person. But they will eat anything. And when I say anything, I mean they will eat anything. So in my head, I see Jimmy, Bob, Jane, and Bubba getting hammered out in the swamps, and Mr. Python doesn't know that that's not a dead man. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, Bubba's been swallowed by a snake. I cannot fit. By the way, the prize for this is what?
Oh, it's like 10 grand or something.
It is 10 grand.
5 grand.
10 grand. I cannot imagine.
Get 10 grand.
In my head, it's 750 dudes.
You're good at it, right?
In my head, it's 750 dudes that look like Joe Exotic and his assorted husbands.
Sure. Yeah.
Trying to catch gigantic danger noodles. There's a joke there that you're going to have to write yourself.
Wow.
But
look, over the last 4 years, they've averaged over 200 pythons removed because of this challenge each year. So, I mean, it's serving a purpose. 2021 seems to be the all-time record year. Charles Danton pulled on 41 pythons. That's impressive. That's impressive.
Couple girls that went to my high school. Never mind. Again, that joke. That joke writes itself too.
I was laying it out there for you. I'm glad you decided to take the opportunity.
Same thing I said. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah. There it is.
Yeah.
And we're back.
That was the one.
We didn't get any smarter while we were on vacation. Oh,
no,
yeah.
We certainly did not.
I just can't imagine anybody in my life looking at me going, if you got $25, we got a week ahead of us trying to catch snakes out in the. I will pass. I'm not even scared of snakes, and I'm out.
Do you know how much meth $10,000 can buy you? Come on.
That would be at Sports Tank ESPN.
Okay. It's just reaching for the stars.
And that was not actually us asking the question. So do not send us the answer to how much that will actually buy, because we don't need to know.
Yeah, we don't want. We do not need to know.
And if we needed to know, we'd go ask the dude that tried to sell it rock to Tank. I guarantee you he could tell us.
100%. 100%. Just say.
Patrick Holt in our YouTube chat said, "I would like 10,000 meths, please, and thank you."
Is that how that works? I see a lot of people who are obviously on the meths, and it doesn't look like they have a whole lot of money. So I got to imagine that it's a lot that you could buy with $10,000.
I understand that. I understand that about as much as I understand going out and into the swamps and chasing snakes. So,
all right, we're going to give Jeremy a nice little break here, going to the top of the hour, so he can get some playing time in on College Football 26.
Oh, so Thunder Rampage is about to have his first high school game. Is that what I'm to understand?
Did you seriously name your quarterback Thunder Rampage?
Sure did.
Yes. Let's go. Is he playing for Florida State?
We haven't gone through the high school schedule yet, but let me just go.
Okay.
Let me just go ahead and tell you the T.C. Robertson Pumas are about to, because I didn't want to go through the creative builder thing, are about to mess somebody up. Mm-hmm. Also, very funny story from my vacation. I learned that a Puma is a cougar that is not 40 years old yet. And I learned that from a girl holding a dog in a bar. And that's a story I will tell at a later date because it is real funny.
Yep. While this portion of the program includes all the double entendre you could want, we might as well take this opportunity to tell you about the Big Wiener Party coming up on August the 9th down at Cox Avenue, of all places. Imagine that. Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, the official barbecue of the Sportsocracy. They're throwing a party on Saturday, August the 9th. It'll be a 2 to 6 event down at 135 Cox Avenue. And there will be 9 teams, 2,700 hot dogs, and 1 Royal Wiener. So the object is that each team will come up with a creative topping for a hot dog. The teams will bring all of the things that they need to top their hot dogs, and then they will be judged by celebrity judges. I use that term loosely.
What'd it do?
The vulgar chef, Kyle Marceau, and Dan Whalen, the food in my beard, will be the head judges, along with Jeremy Greene, host of the Sportsocracy. Stu Helm and Todd Lewis, the front house award-winning front house engineer for Luke Combs, will be the judges. Highwire Brewing will be supplying the brews for the Big Wiener Party, and there will be a king or queen wiener, apparently. And they say possibly a crown. Don't let me down, Megan. That crown better be awesome. The Big Wiener Party, August the 9th. It's a Saturday, so don't worry. You can meet us down there. Bear's Smokehouse Barbecue, downtown on Cox Avenue. We will see you there.
ESPN Asheville.
And we're clear.
I really don't want to ever have to defend that last 20-minute segment in front of a panel of FCC judges. I don't think that one would be a lot of fun to go through line item by line item.
Highs Tuesday afternoon.
Excuse me, darling, would you like to see my danger noodle?
Wednesday afternoon highs.
All right, what have I got? 5 minutes here?
Showers, even storms Thursday.
Sure.
This report is sponsored by North Carolina Department of Transportation.
Each year, about 2,000 pedestrians and over 800 cyclists are hit by cars in North Carolina. You can change this. Drivers must yield to pedestrians, and cyclists must obey traffic laws. Visit watchformenc.org.
Once you're $1,000 richer after you win bonus bucks, you'll have to decide on whether you'll tell everybody or keep it to yourself. The winning happens every weekday, right here.
Win $1,000 on ESPN Asheville. Is your truck wimpy, trailer barely hanging on, shed crumbling? Leonard Truck Outfitters, the largest truck outfitters in the Southeast, supercharges your gear. Rugged bedliners, hard...
That's points, Tao.
Trailers and fast. With over 100 locations and years of experience, visit LeonardUSA.com.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Mark Starling, and this Medical Minute is brought to you by Haywood Regional Medical Center. July is UV Safety Month, and at Haywood Regional Medical Center, we want to help you stay safe in the sun. With hot sunny days and outdoor fun in full swing, it's more important than ever to protect yourself from harmful UV rays. Yes, sunshine helps your body make vitamin D, but too much of it can cause painful sunburns, premature aging, eye damage, and even skin cancer, the most common cancer in the U.S. The good news, it's all preventable. Here are 5 simple ways to protect yourself. Seek shade, especially between 10 a.m. and...
Can we put 100 meths on a hot dog and call it the Dizzy Glizzy?
30 or higher sunscreen, and don't forget to reapply. Check your local UV index before heading out. And be aware that some medications can increase your sun sensitivity. These small steps can make a big difference. Your skin and your future self will thank you. Visit myhaywoodregional.com to learn more.
At Ingles Weather, we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park. It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
ESPN Asheville, broadcasting from the Ingles studio at Radio Ranch. Log on to ESPNAVL.com and make us your #1 preset on the iHeartRadio app. ESPN Asheville, #1 for sports coverage in the mountains.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call, 828-774-6343. We're here for what matters most, you.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple of beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our...
Here we go.
Your Western North Carolina.
Woohoo! From the Ingles studio, WPEK Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, W225CJ Candler, the #1 preset in your car, and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Free never sounded so good.
Now, your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, bank. That's bank. Enter it now.
Go to ESPNAVL.com to play, and good luck.
Live from the Ingles studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
The Sportsocracy.
Damn the devil to hell! Let the big dogs eat! Let them on the field!
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons! By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh my God. The Jets killed him.
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM and 1400. Sportsocracy is heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. It's been a fun day back from vacation. We will continue the silliness here on the third hour of the program. Because, I mean, it's how it goes. You're just trying to get back into the groove of things, and then everybody just wants to be silly. Coming to us live from the NFLDraft.net, Mullet Manor. It is one Jeremy Greene. You don't look as sunburnt. Like, how did your sunburn change from 2 hours ago?
Well, the light in the room is helping. The sprinting back and forth across my house to get to the Thunderdome is. I probably look more flushed and less burnt because I'm sweating.
I was going to say, I would think that would make your face look more red.
Thunder Rampage
Red,
has picked his
like brother love.
I love you. Sorry. Thunder Rampage has picked his top 10 schools that he is looking to be recruited by. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, if you're expecting anything out of me for, I'll say, for the next 600 hours, you're probably going to be very disappointed.
College Football 26 has released. If you got the VIP package or whatever.
I don't even know what I bought.
The game comes out to the public, on the 10th?
Yes. I don't even know what I bought. Can I play it 3 days early? Cool. That's the cheapest version of that. It has already asked me 2 questions of, did you buy this? I think so. I don't know. I didn't look. It was worth $25 extra for me to play it 3 days early because I live by the Ricky Bobby philosophy of if you ain't first, you're last. So,
yes.
I'm a 38-year-old man that's bordering on a 12-year-old. You can't have it before me. No. Not just no, but hell no.
So Sexton Hardcastle, or what did you call him? What is your what is your player's name?
Rampage. Although I think Sexton Hardcastle is that's a formidable name in and of itself.
Oh, of course it is. That is actually another wrestling reference. That is the greatest wrestling name ever. That they would not get behind, and by they I mean the powers that be.
There's a great chance that Thunder Rampage will be going through a name change here at some point because I like that one a lot.
That was Edge's first wrestling name, or maybe not his first, but it was one of them. Sexton Hardcastle, the rated R superstar, Sexton Hardcastle. Think about how better that would have been.
Oh, that would have been the rated X superstar.
I was gonna say, right. I guess. That would have been the Skinamax version of the not-so-rated R superstar.
I am so excited for 50 minutes from now when I can just dive into just messing people up on this game. Zach Hurst has already texted me and said, what time can we play this game today? And I went, it's already on my television right now. You work a big boy job, whereas I get to make phallic references on the radio. So I have already been poking around. You tell me when you're ready for this smoke, bruh.
All right, let's see here. Did my camera go down?
It did for a minute. Yeah, you keep just bouncing in and out, and I'm not sure why. I think it's because the building you're in, it runs an internet that...
It's powered by gerbils.
No doubt.
We already know this.
And one of them was with me at the beach drinking Fireball, and he is not clicking on all cylinders today.
He's just spent at this point.
He's just laying on the wheel like it just keeps moving.
The Washington Commanders. So last hour before the frivolity of that last segment, I posed the question of Terry McLaurin, the Washington Commanders. There's not a whole lot to be reporting on in the NFL right now, so every contract dispute or every player that's a little miffed at what's going on with their contract or the extension talks or whatever is getting center stage news. Now, Terry McLaurin, is there any concern that he won't be with the Commanders much longer?
There is a better chance that Sexton Hardcastle doesn't win 4 Heisman trophies before we do another show than that Terry McLaurin's not with the Washington Commanders next year.
Okay.
Which, by the way, both are 0%. I laugh at these situations all the time because there are situations, and this is another one of those. Just go common sense. I'm going to compare 2 potential trade pieces to each other. I have already said I have absolutely zero worry that Terry McLaurin is not going to be with Washington.
Yeah.
Trey Hendrickson, on the other hand, I do have a concern that he's not going to be able to make it work with the Cincinnati Bengals. Here's why. That defense is not even good. That defense doesn't have the pieces. Trey Hendrickson's getting older, and he may be looking around going, you know what, I want a chance to win. And maybe he doesn't feel it in Cincinnati. Maybe feelings are badly enough hurt. I don't know. I don't know the inner workings. I just see that and go, I could see a dissolution of that relationship. I think Trey Hendrickson will still play in Cincinnati week 1. I can't promise you that because at this point, I think the same gerbils that run your internet are running the Cincinnati Bengals. And I don't make a habit of figuring out what gerbils are going to do. Terry McLaurin is still in his prime with the team that drafted him. He's been as loyal of a teammate as any player in the world. And, oh, by the way, he just got a quarterback for the first time since he's been there. This is the time you think he's going to force his way out? Really? That would be like staying married to somebody until they started doing hormone replacement. Like, oh, you mean the good times just started to roll? Cool, I'm out.
Yeah,
no.
but if you could double your pay?
You're not going to double your pay. I mean, what Washington will pay him, and I don't know exactly the numbers. I've heard some different reports on that. I asked some people inside the building, and I got 2 different answers. It's just not that big of a difference. We're not talking about him being a $40 million receiver or him being a $20 million receiver. He's going to get paid regardless. The question is, do you want to be in Washington or don't you? And everything I've heard is that that's exactly where he wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he's going to be. And I have no fear of it. This is one of, and this is another thing that's a victim of bad timing. There's not a whole lot in football to talk about right now. If you go to Twitter right now, the 2 biggest trending things in all of the football landscape are BYU, which we're going to talk about in a little bit, and the college football video game. So if it's a story that has any form of traction whatsoever, it's going to get traction because we got all these people that have to come up with content for the next month. Yeah. I'm not worried about it in the least.
Okay.
Now, it helps that I have people in the room that are telling me, yeah, there's a 0% chance he's not here next year. None. 0. Zilch. So that
even
does help.
Even without an extension?
I think the extension gets done.
Okay.
I think now we're into the...
I mean, that's where I would be at. If it were me and I were, the shot callers in Washington. Adam Peters?
Adam Peters. Yep.
Adam Peters, yeah. So, if I was him, I mean, I'm not going blank check, but, I mean, make him happy. Right? I don't feel like Terry McLaurin is a guy who feels like his value needs to be at $40 million. Right? All these new deals that are coming in for Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and that's about the line that the superstars are at right now.
Well, I mean, look, Justin Jefferson got 35. Justin Jefferson got 35 a year. I mean, you want me to tell you where this deal is going to come in? Because I can tell you.
I thought it was 40.
Jefferson got 35. Jamar Chase got 40.2.
Okay, that's the one I was thinking was 40.
I'm looking at Brandon Ayuk's deal that was 30 a year, 4-year deal, $120 million. That's where this is going to fall.
Yep.
That's where it's going to fall. That's where it should fall. Because I don't think even Terry would look at himself. To me, DK Metcalf's grossly overpaid. A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase being up there in that 32 to 40 million range, I'm fine. They're all that good. Then you get into the Amon-Ra, Tyreek Hill, T. Higgins tier. That's where Terry's going to be. Is he going to be on the high side of it, or is he going to fall with Higgins and Waddle? I don't know. And I'm not going to lie to you, I don't really care because that's not going to preclude a deal from getting done. The only way a deal doesn't get done here is if he's going, I need to be at 40 with Jamar Chase, and I'm going to level. I don't know Terry personally. I know a lot of people that do. And not one of them thinks that's what we're arguing about right now.
It's not coming. No. The thing, the guesstimations, I guess, or the reports are that he wants to be in the 30 range.
And that's fine.
$30 million, he wants to be top-ish of the market. And he absolutely deserves to be. There's no question for you, though, that Washington will pay it and get it done.
Yeah, I have no doubt of that.
Okay.
None.
That's good news. That's good news. Because this, I mean, I feel like everybody has to know. Everybody in that locker room has to know we've got a shot now. After the year that Jaden Daniels just had, there is nothing that would preclude me from keeping this team together. I mean, barring some crazy offer from Terry's people that he wants $45 million a year, which is not going to happen. He wouldn't ask for it, and they wouldn't give it.
When teams go all in, the way that Washington is, and just look at the moves they made. You added a left tackle to prop up your quarterback. You added another receiver to prop up your quarterback. They don't tend to take steps back before they've all played together, because that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. And look, I mean, I'm a level with it. Terry McLaurin's still the number one wide receiver in Washington. He's the one, unquestioned, no doubt. Debo's the two.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you look at that team,
money now by just a little smidge, and it's on the team, I think, to give you what you want, make you the number one guy.
No doubt, and it will happen. It will all be hunky dunky. We will have no issues whatsoever. We might just have to do a little dance first, and that's fine. The contract dance is a dance that many of us have to do at times.
Yes, indeed it is. So nothing expected to go overboard on that one. Nobody's threatened holdouts and things like that. Hopefully, it doesn't get drama filled going closer to the season.
Well, this is also a weird. This is also a weird offseason. This is also a weird offseason because you've got a lot of stuff happening with second round picks because we're in a dance there too. Very few of these guys are wanting to come off the board because they want something that's not necessarily out there. So I don't worry about these things until I have a reason to worry about them.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
For the 2025.
And we're clear.
Thanks.
It's time to dial in, which means every game means a little more.
First pitch, ground ball right side. Diving stop by Ozzie. Got him. Whoa, what a play by Albies.
Coverage brought to you locally by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The Mountains home for the Braves on Asheville's #1 sports station, ESPN Asheville.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage. Get tickets now at AXS.com.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Who are the 25 greatest football players to grace the gridiron since the year 2000? Introducing NFL Daily's top 25 players of the last 25 years. Join me, Greg Rosenthal, and an all-star cast of media personalities, including Mina Kimes, Steve Weish, Kevin Harlan, and more, for a look at football's best since the turn of the century. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search NFL Daily with Greg Rosenthal, and listen now.
Looking to buy or sell in Asheville? At Clarissa Sells WNC with eXp Realty, we're proud to be the #1 real estate team in Buncombe County. Give us a call, 828-774-6343. We're here for what matters most, you.
Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports have teamed up under a new local owner to serve our community with the finest custom apparel and unique branded items at the best price. Mountain Graphics and Showtime Sports can customize whatever you, your team, or your local group may need with high-quality screen printing, embroidery, and laser engraving. Visit mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com. That's mtngraphicsavl.com or showtimesportsavl.com for your local one-stop custom apparel shops.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The trick isn't making it through the off-season, but realizing there is no off-season.
Your daily football fix is on.
Weekdays at noon from the Ingles studio.
The Sportsocracy.
Hear ESPN Asheville everywhere on the iHeartRadio app.
The Sportsocracy.
Why are you smiling? Because I love football.
We are back at the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Jeremy Greene, tell me about Jake Retzlaff.
Well, there are some unknowns in this story.
Okay, all right.
He was sued civilly by a girl that accused him of sexual assault.
Okay.
And now the hardest part of this story is going to be that part of this has nothing to do with why he was disciplined by BYU. BYU is going to suspend him if he stays with the school. He's the quarterback at BYU.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be suspended because he broke their honor code. Right. Because he admitted that they had premarital relations. Yes. I saw this story and I went, that's a bigger deal than people are going to let on. Because BYU now is very big in the NIL space. Mm-hmm. To the point of they have the number one, and I need to throw a caveat here. I don't know what happened here, and we have a rule on this show of when it gets into lawsuits and police things, we let lawyers and policemen deal with it. I ain't talking about any of that because I have absolutely no idea. Mm-hmm. This whole honor code thing at BYU is going to become a problem. And I get it. That is a Mormon school. That is what that school is built on. But they want to be big in the NIL space. They just got a pretty sizable football recruit just a handful of days ago. They got the number one basketball recruit in the country. AJ DeBasanta, I think is his name.
Yeah, something like that.
Your honor code is going to become a problem there because 18-year-old kids, money's money. But when you tell me that I can't hop on the good foot and do the bad thing, then that's going to become a problem. And look, you want to have an honor code? More power to you. I don't care. I'm not a moralist. I have never in my life made a habit of concerning myself with what happened behind the closed door of someone else's bedroom. It's not my problem. It's not my business. I don't care. But now that you're wanting to be this competitive, high-end school, okay, just know that you're going to have problems like this.
Of course you will.
Notre Dame had problems like this.
Absolutely. I was going to say the exact same thing. You know, as we talked about over the years of Notre Dame, why are they not able to compete on a bigger stage, which obviously, they've gotten better at. But didn't they relax some of their academic requirements?
They all have.
To be able to do that?
Look, if you're wanting to compete, and this is not just a BYU problem. BYU's just the one that really kind of opened the door for me to talk about this. If you want to be high-level competitive, you're going to have to relax some requirements. Notre Dame, the reason that Notre Dame will not win a national title in my lifetime is because they absolutely refuse to relax their academic requirements. I once had a coach in college football when we first started doing this radio show. I had a coach in college football tell me the ESPN top 300, Notre Dame probably could get 30 of them into school. That's a problem. Because not all 30 of the ones you could get in want to come to Notre Dame. BYU's going to run into the same problem. You can have all the money you want. And you know what 18-year-old kids are really notorious for doing? Telling you what you want to hear to get what they want. And if you're throwing out money, and I'm telling you right now, some of the numbers I've heard from BYU, I cannot confirm them, so I do not know that they are accurate. They are insanity. To the point of there has been discussion that the DeBasanta kid could end up staying at BYU for more than a year. I know we talked about that with Cooper Flagg too. You can't compete with NBA money once you get to the contract, but apparently it's in the ballpark of what that rookie deal in the NBA is going to look like.
Right.
That's how much money they're throwing around.
Because when you're a program like that, you either have to give up and not play the game, or you take your shot. And if you've got the money to take the shot, you're going to do it. But I kind of got to give BYU props on this. You don't have to sacrifice your principles for that. I mean, if that's tried and true to you, and obviously it is, it's part of the honor code, and it is, I haven't read the Mormon scriptures, but I think we all, from just pop culture, kind of understand what that is all about as far as how they view premarital sex and things like that. They make that abundantly clear. You're coming in, but you have to abide by our rules. You don't abide by our rules, you're going to get suspended. You're going to have to be punished. It's one of those things you have to weigh the good and the bad here. And yeah, maybe there are some recruits that aren't going to, bend to what you want them to do. But you're upfront and honest about this is what we expect of you. Now, if that's worth the money for you, if we're paying you $5-10 million a year, whatever the hell you're getting, is it really that hard? Keep it in your pants, guy. You got a year.
Oh, and everything you just said there, everything you just said there, on paper, sounds all well and good.
Yeah.
You can't really put that into contracts. That there's laws and things that you're not allowed to tell people things like that. Your morality clause, that's all well and good. You're setting yourself up for an absolute failure in a court of law. And you tell me I'm wrong all you want to. I was in higher management for a multinational corporation. I know what you're allowed to say. I know what you're not allowed to say. And the fact that you got 2 top 30 recruits because you spent an insane amount of money, I see a problem on the horizon. Mm-hmm. And now, I need to clarify again, I have no problem with you having a morality clause. None. There's a reason Notre Dame doesn't get into these higher level NIL things, because that can cloud morality. BYU they're running that stoplight. It could create an unholy problem. No pun intended.
No. I see what you did there. Nice. Good for you. But how does this work now, though? Because Jake Retzlaff, is he just available for anybody? Can anybody just now up and poach him, or how's that work? We're past the deadlines, right?
He could ask for a special exception. I doubt he's going to get it. But if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember what year he is. He could redshirt, and I think that's probably the most likely because it's a 7-game suspension.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say most likely he probably enters when it reopens he can enter now. I just don't know if he can play this upcoming year.
No.
Or if he's going to go to a school and then he has to redshirt at that school, which is entirely possible.
According to the Salt Lake Tribune, by NCAA rule, a graduate transfer is allowed to enter the transfer portal at any time, but the player has to sit out the next season if he transfers after the final portal window closes.
Which it already has.
Closed April 25th. So we're well past the deadline here. So I guess he redshirts?
That's the only thing I can figure out. I say this often.
He'll have to get a waiver from the NCAA,
which he's not going to get. I mean, he's not. Tez Walker couldn't get one because he wanted to live close to a dying relative. I don't think you're getting one because I don't think. Did you see that girl is going to pass? I don't think the NCAA is going to go. Yeah, sure. I don't think that's the way this is going to go. And again, taking out all of the legal things because there could still be legal ramifications here. He's facing a civil lawsuit out of this. Again, and I always go over the top to make sure I ain't comment on that because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, and maybe this is, my business background. I don't know. I'm just looking at this going, I could see a lawsuit that's going to be really uncomfortable for everybody involved. Mm-hmm. Of you can't tie, because you legally can't tie things like this to money. You can't tell somebody you can't have premarital sex. It's against the law. Like you can't tie that to financial ramifications. And the first person that signs one of these deals and they try to take the money back, oh boy. You talk about the most uncomfortable week of radio of our lives, having to try to dance around that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it feels like any business that has, every business has like a code that you have to live by.
Yep, that's called breaking the law. If you break it, it's not illegal to have premarital sex. Sorry, I hooked up with a girl at a frat party is not against the law. Now, again, if what she's alleging is true, then that's a whole different story. I'm not even really talking about this individual story. This is just the one that sent the flag up to me of how exactly do you think you're going to enforce that? You're getting recruits in here that would never come to be, and this is not a shot at the school, it's just the truth. And if you don't believe me, look at recruiting rankings for the last 25 years. These guys would never come to your school. You're paying them high level. To me, this is starting to feel like you're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. Because I'm going to go down a rabbit hole and say, you probably mentioned this. I'm going to bet you didn't make a big thing of it.
Oh, I will disagree there. I'll guarantee you they made a big deal out of this.
Okay, their success here is telling me they didn't. Again, I've worked in corporate America. Me looking at you and saying, hey, we have this thing, and then it's probably not a big selling point to you. We're probably not going to talk about that again. And if you look at how many guys they're getting here, I don't know. I see a kerfuffle coming that could be really uncomfortable for all involved.
Yeah. We shall see. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
There was a fun topic that we had to dance around very delicately.
Hot course here this afternoon. Mix of clouds and sun. Widely scattered shower storms possible this afternoon and evening. Highs upper 80s to near 90. Upper 60s tonight. Sunny and hot tomorrow with a better chance for afternoon and evening storms. Highs Tuesday afternoon. Upper 80s to near 90 degrees. Showers and storms Wednesday. Afternoon highs in middle to upper 80s. Chance for more showers, even storms Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone. at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Macy's Backstage is a whole new floor inside your Macy's store. And right now, you'll find the latest summer styles all for under $25. With new arrivals every day, you never know what amazing deals you'll find. So don't wait. Find a location at Macy'sBackstage.com.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2025 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 7/20/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store activation of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. Whether it's a long day on your feet, a demanding workout, or everyday aches and pains, you need relief that can keep up when pain persists. Aleve is here for you with longer-lasting body pain relief compared to leading OTC branded pain relievers. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
See things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's
your camera is frozen again.
1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo! Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in Asheville has two things that all Sportsocracy fans crave: bold flavors and big portions. Oh yeah, and they've got the balls. Bear's famous bear balls are packed with mac and cheese, pulled pork, cornbread, and deep fried and then topped with bacon and cheese sauce. This is the place to be. Live music on Saturdays and the first Sunday of... All right, how about now? With the Guitar Bar to host Mr. Jimmy's Barbecue Blues. Bear Smokehouse Barbecue in downtown Asheville and South Asheville. It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy, and it is time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes. Oh, that was hard.
That hurt.
The up high is there was a lot of yelling. There might have been some long neck ice cold beer never broke my heart. Just really getting after it, and that might have happened like I don't know 8 times. So
the voice is still a little strained. I shouldn't have asked you to do that.
Yeah, the voice is hurting.
Anyhow.
It's hurting.
Yeah. Glad to be back though from our vacation here on ESPN Asheville. Rashad Jones is in the news. Former NFL Pro Bowler Rashad Jones. It's hard for me to understand how this keeps happening, because I would think that if you were, professional athlete or any other successful business person that has a lot of money, that you might want to keep an eye on where your spending is going and all of that. News report comes out that a woman is in jail after she and a former financial advisor were accused of stealing millions of dollars from Rashad Jones using his personal bank account. Isaiah Williams, Jones's former financial advisor, is accused of stealing $1.58 million from Jones by using the access, the personal PIN codes and such to his bank account. Another $1.03 million was laundered from Jones's account with the help from Octavia Monique Graham, whom Jones told investigators that he never met. Attorneys say that is yet another troubling example of a professional athlete being exploited by a wealth management firm that he trusted. Now, Jeremy, you have had a lot more money go through your hands in your life than I have had go through my hands.
Sure.
I would hope to God that if you had millions of dollars on the line, that you would at least be able to see this, right? I mean, Rashad Jones, he wasn't one of those that made, $100 million. You would think like over $2 million would be easier to see.
I'll put it
this
this way.
I find it strange.
So I have in my life, I've had I had a money manager at one time. Mm-hmm. I've had several people in my life that had, I will say, access that probably not a lot of other people have had to deal with. I also was told very early on, you should make sure that there is a lot of oversight. So I never had money that was in things that I didn't have direct access to. So, if somebody was stealing money from me, I would have known very quickly. I'm also insanely neurotic, so I check that about every 15 seconds. Right. So I'm probably not a great one to ask there. What happens with a lot of these guys is that they'll trust somebody to invest their money because they don't necessarily know how to do it. And frankly, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to do it. I'm lucky that I'm married to a financial advisor. That helps.
Yeah, not everybody has that luxury.
100%. And there are times that she will tell me things about where our money is going or what we have. We got to pay this. What are we paying for again? I remember now. I don't care. If you didn't have I'm married to mine, so obviously I trust her infinitely. I understand how it could happen to somebody.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate that there are pariahs out there that are looking to do this to people.
Oh, sure. I get how it happens. I just don't understand why it happens. Because as you said, I feel like I would, even if I'm not good at it, I would have somebody, and maybe he just got duped by the wrong person. But I don't know how you lose $1 million to somebody you never met. That seems very strange to me. But there again, the guy did make $56 million in his career. Losing $2 million out of that, I guess maybe you could hide that pretty well. It's just a sad state of affairs.
My story is about one James Shannon Farthing. He's a career criminal.
Okay.
He's been arrested no less than 25 times that we have been able to discover in 25 different correctional institutions. Now, that is incredibly impressive for a 50-year-old, and I say impressive being very ironic. The reason that his name has come into the social lexicon is because he just won the $167.3 million Powerball jackpot in April. Okay. There's a possibility that he will never see $1 of that.
What?
It will be in his accounts, but he'll have no access to it because he is getting ready to face a verdict on July the 14th for battery on a law enforcement officer. He also was in Florida when he did that. Here's the problem with that. He is a resident of the state of Kentucky. It's a parole violation. He could end up doing the rest of his life in jail because it kicked back in his former sentence and added new charges on as he tried to incapacitate a peace officer. Oh, by the way, his girlfriend was arrested 2 days after he won the Powerball jackpot for disorderly intoxication.
Oh, okay.
I don't think these two need $167 million. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, you know what? We could probably donate that one to charity. I believe there are charities that probably are more deserving.
Sure. Can we call this the lottery morality clause? We will not allow you to have these.
Look, I'm not a moralist. I'm just a man that has no children, which according to the story he doesn't. That may do the rest of his life in jail. Where does the money go? Was he to leave it to somebody? This is another one of those times. I don't know.
Well, I mean, it goes into the commissary fund, right? I mean, he goes to jail.
You can't put that much on a commissary account. Ask Diddy. He either already knows or is about to find out.
I mean, that's canteen snacks for days, right?
Oh,
Years.
yeah. That dude's going to have more Skittles than you're going to know what to do with.
100%.
And top ramen.
Is that a popular item?
Gary Burt said, cigarettes for everyone.
Yeah.
This is also a good time for me to say that North Carolina is now a state where Tank and I cannot buy vapes to keep us from smoking, but we can buy recreational narcotics in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
North Carolina, just one
vape right at the gas station down the street. However, I cannot purchase nicotine any longer.
Just North Carolina.
Unless it's FDA approved, and that's only like 2 brands.
It's just one great big walking contradiction.
It is. It is indeed. So, yeah. It's an interesting situation we find ourselves in. We don't do crimes here, though, so keep that in mind. No smuggling, Jeremy. That's all I'm saying.
Look, it's not smuggling if it's just for my personal use. You don't know how much I need, bruh. And I'm in South Carolina all the time.
Oh, he needs quite a bit. I've seen him buy, I think I saw you buy 5 of those one time.
I buy them 5 at a time.
That's a lot.
Well, I get a 5th one free. Why would I not do that? I'm gonna go through 5 of them, but I only do that like once every other month.
Well, I hope so. I hope you can't go through 5 of those in a week.
No, I do about.
You'll definitely be getting popcorn lung out of that.
No, mine lasts, I don't know, 2.5 weeks each.
Yeah, that's about right. Hey, story today on ESPN.com about the way Pete Carroll is changing the culture with the Las Vegas Raiders. I have bagged on the Raiders year after year after year, and it's because it just never made sense to me. You kept trying to just throw things together and hope that things are going to change. The Gruden thing, I was all behind you. I was there. This could happen. He could turn this into something. And then, of course, that flamed out and sent you down a spiral that, well, there are very few teams, I will say this, that I think could recover nicely from the way the last few years have gone between, Bisaccia and Antonio Pierce, and now, as we've said before, we feel like you've got big boys in the room. Right? You got a winning culture, or you got winning figureheads who have taken over and trying to instill a winning culture. And I think it's just hilarious to see some of these videos of Pete Carroll wrestling offensive linemen at OTAs. There's a video of Pete Carroll jumping on Thayer Munford to try to pin him like WWE style. There's another one where apparently he dropped the people's elbow on Tonka Hemingway, who is 284-pound defensive lineman out of South Carolina.
Yep, that one didn't go quite his way.
He's 73 years old there, though, and he's out there running drills and passing with the players, and he was out there apparently racing cornerbacks at some point. That didn't go his way, I'm sure. But just the fact that that's the kind of atmosphere that he is now bringing to an organization that has been god-awful in that department.
Well, I mean,
to me,
look.
That already makes this partially successful.
No doubt. I mean, look, there's something in Pete Carroll's blood that needs to be studied. Because if that dude's 73 years old, he's doing something right. And I do think having a culture, and look, I said this when they hired him. I can't tell you that he's going to win some great amount. Having him and Brady in the building, Brady is as part owner, Carroll is the head coach. I think it goes a distance to changing the culture. And that really is what you need. I mean, because look, Al Davis he did a lot of good things for the NFL. He was also a borderline crazy person.
Crazy person, yeah.
And his son doesn't really seem to be a whole lot less crazy. So even if Pete Carroll comes in here and wins 9 games one time, I feel like this will have been a success. Because when they go to replace Pete in 2, 3, 4 years, I don't know how long he's planning on doing this. He's also, look at Bill Belichick, look at Pete Carroll, and realize that they're like 8 months apart in age.
Right.
Bill's girlfriend notwithstanding, that's about the only thing youthful about him. Mm-hmm. His hoodies are older than her. So I like where the Raiders are headed.
Television.
Say it again.
I said facts. He actually wore one of them on television.
That
Navy sweatshirt.
I just don't necessarily. I don't know what this is going to lead to with the Raiders. I think they are in much better shape, but I like the roster. It's not just, Pete's got guys light on the sidelines. I saw the same story that you did, and I'm glad you brought it up because I thought it was something that did need to be talked about today. Mm-hmm. I think that will go a long way to changing the stigma of the Raiders. Because for a long time, that's been an organization that's not viewed like other NFL teams. I've heard a lot of things said about the Raiders in the years we've been doing this. And this is one time that I do feel like things are changing. Mm-hmm. The adults are in the room, and they're running this team like an NFL team. I didn't love Ashton Jeanty at 6. I didn't love it. And I think they tried really hard to get to 2 with Travis Hunter. Mm-hmm. It didn't work. They weren't going to pay that amount. And I'll be honest with you, the fact that they wouldn't pay that amount tells me about everything I need to know.
Exactly. They went and got a guy that can, if he's the best that they say he can be, then they killed it at number 6. Right? There are experts, quote unquote, who feel that Ashton Jeanty can be the next big thing in the NFL. If there's anybody in the NFL that can make him that or get him close to that, I'd say Pete Carroll's pretty good. He's a pretty good choice.
Look, Pete's been successful everywhere he's been.
That system is run to where it benefits him.
Look, Pete,
no doubt about
if you take every 3-year run, because mentally I think about how long he's intending on being here. It might be longer. I definitely don't think it's any shorter than that. If you look at the least
5
successful, if you look at the least successful 3-year run of Pete Carroll, it would be the best 3-year run for the Raiders in 2 decades.
Yep. I think just having him in the room got you 3 more wins at least. And that's if the team didn't even buy in. Now when you see things like this, and they do have pieces that you like on the roster and you trust in the process, again, this is not going to be a team that contends in year 1. Could they be contending by the time he's ready to call it quits? I'll tell you this. One thing I do know, they're going to be much, much better than they have been. And I don't foresee Pete Carroll turning in a 4-13 season anytime soon. Do you?
No, I don't.
It's just not going to happen. It's a cool thing to see. 73-year-old guy out there living his best life, just getting the last few years he can out of football, wanting to inspire another group of guys. And hopefully take them far.
Hey, I just...
to the promised land? No, probably not.
I just laud that the Las Vegas Raiders found a 12-step program to go from Tank's most hated team in the NFL to a team that I low-key think he's starting to like, and it all started with selecting Brock Bowers, as Gary Burch said in our YouTube chat.
No doubt. Brock Bowers definitely does help. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We will return with you tomorrow here on ESPN Asheville. At noon, it'll be Power Rankings Tuesday. Do we have we got a position group to do still?
Head coaches.
On the countdown here?
We are going head coaches in the NFL tomorrow.
There we go. Head coaches in the Power Ranking Tuesday episode tomorrow. Be sure to be here. 92.9 FM, 880 AM, 1400, and everywhere on the iHeart Radio app.
ESPN Ash.
And we're clear.
Thank you, sir. It is time for Sexton Castlewood, or whatever you said, to go win a whole mess of Sexton Hardcastle. There we go.
Upper 60s tonight. Sunny and hot tomorrow with a better chance for afternoon and evening storms.
All right, brother.
Afternoon, upper 80s to near 90.
Hell yeah.
Showers and storms Wednesday afternoon.
Enjoy. We'll see you.
For more showers, even storms Thursday. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Shop Mattress Firm's July 4th sale and reclaim your restless nights.